Hello and welcome back to GVN's Top 10. With Loki Season 2 having just released a few weeks ago, I'm feeling back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe spirit. It's no secret that the road after Avengers Endgame has been rocky, and while I certainly can admit that the MCU isn't bulletproof, I'm ever the optimist. I felt some fatigue, but after Loki Season 2 and finally getting a chance to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I feel rejuvenated. So, with that being said, let's get into this top 10 with Tia with the top 10 best MCU moments after Avengers Endgame. Number 10, Yelena teasing Natasha about her pose in Black Widow. This is a small one, but I loved the Black Widow movie. Say what you will about it, I loved it. As someone who has felt Natasha deserved her own movie since Phase 1, I guess it's better late than never. This look into Natasha's life outside of the Avengers was dark, emotional, and gave us one of the best new characters, Yelena. Yelena and Natasha's sisterly bond was heartfelt, and I wish we had more time with them together. Number 9, Icarus fighting the Deviants in Eternals. Another movie that gets way too much hate, The Eternals was a beautifully shot film that dared to break the molds of the MCU. And as a Game of Thrones fan, I was happy to see Richard Madden here. Essentially, the MCU Superman, I just love that scene where the Eternals are in the forest and Icarus is using his laser beams while holding the mouth open of that one deviant. It's super small, but it was a beautiful visual, and I just loved it. Number 8, Xiaoling becoming the new leader of the Ten Rings. I absolutely love this boss moment in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Despite telling her brother that she would disband the organization, she instead is bolstering the criminal empire. I can't wait to see if something comes from this. Xiaoling reminded me of Anna in Hulu's Hellstrom, which is a better show than Marvel even gave it credit for. Number 7, all Wanda's moments in WandaVision. I'm sorry, it's hard to choose. Wanda was so great in WandaVision. From controlling everyone in the town to her emotional flashbacks and her acceptance that she needed to stop the illusion was great. WandaVision was a great debut show for Disney Plus's Marvel, and really, I can't pick one moment that stood out from the others. Elizabeth Olsen did a phenomenal job here, and I loved her chemistry with Paul Bettany. I loved her being the Scarlet Witch. Yeah, 10/10. Number 6, Wanda killing the Illuminati and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This might be controversial, but I loved Multiverse of Madness. And while it was certainly an upsetting moment, since we got John Krasinski as Reed Richards, Anson Mount back as the only good portrayal of an Inhuman in the Inhuman shows, Black Bolt, and Sir Patrick Stewart back as Professor X, it may have been upsetting, but it showed how powerful and unhinged Wanda was in this movie. She became the Scarlet Witch, and I loved it. Number 5, Shuri suiting up in Wakanda Forever. Obviously, Wakanda Forever had a huge uphill battle to do a Black Panther movie without a Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman's untimely passing created a void in the MCU and the Black Panther franchise. And while I knew we'd see Shuri suited up in the sequel, I was happy with how earned it felt. Shuri didn't suit up right away. By the time she did, it was earned, well-timed, and really well done. Number 4, Wilson Fisk in Hawkeye. We all love the Netflix Marvel series, and nothing Disney Plus has put out has topped what we saw in the Defenders verse. Seeing Vincent D'Onofrio reprise his role as the Kingpin in the Hawkeye series was chef's kiss. And he seems to be a little more powerful than his Netflix version. It was a great way to bring back a character we loved while also allowing him to be a little more comic book accurate than the more grounded version we saw in Daredevil. Number 3, Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home. Speaking of cameos in Daredevil, Matthew effing Murdock. I practically squealed when Charlie Cox popped up in No Way Home. It was such a perfect setup. Peter Parker needed a lawyer, and here he is. His cameo was super short, but it felt like no time had passed at all. He was the Matt Murdock we remember from the Daredevil series, and when he caught that brick and shocked Peter, Peter has spidey senses. He has super fast reflexes. If Matt Murdock caught the brick before Peter Parker, what is he? I loved it, and I cannot wait for the upcoming Daredevil series on Disney Plus. Side note, I also love the Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock slash Venom in No Way Home, even though, again, that was a super small cameo. I loved it. I don't know. For some reason, it made me really happy to see Tom Hardy within this movie, even though he had no interaction with any of the other characters. Let's move on. Number 2, Loki creating Yggdrasil in the Loki season 2 finale. I was not the biggest fan of Loki season 1, but season 2 far exceeded my expectations, and that finale was so well done. For Loki to not only finally show how powerful he is, but to also fulfill his glorious purpose was such a wonderful character arc. I thought what we saw in the movies was a good redemption arc for Loki, but this is another level. Remember, these Thor Marvel characters are based on Norse gods. Loki created Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life. It was a beautiful visual and not only a great nod to Norse mythology, but also the scene in the first Thor movie where Thor drew out Yggdrasil to Jane. And here we are, number 1. The Guardians dancing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Nothing in Phase 5 or Phase 4 has sparked as much joy as seeing the Guardians dancing at the end of Volume 3. I remember before the movie came out that James Gunn said to be prepared, there would be a lot of death. We all really sat there and wondered, who's going to die in this movie? Is it going to be Rocket? Is it going to be Peter Quill? Is it going to be Drax? We were preparing that we were going to see the death of characters that we really love. James Gunn really swerved us. Not only did no one die, but we see everyone happy. Yeah, this will be the last time we see a lot of these characters. This version of Gamora didn't stay with Peter Quill. Peter Quill left the Guardians, but they're all happy. Drax, Nebula, Groot, and Rocket dancing, laughing with everyone. It brings a tear to my eye, honestly. Gamora, this version of Gamora, is happy with the Ravengers. Mantis is finding her own way, and Peter is reuniting with his grandpa. I love it. It was beautiful and the best thing the MCU has offered since Endgame. Now, again, I know that's a bold statement. I tend to do a lot of those on these top 10s. As I said in my last top 10, all of these are opinion based. This is my list. What's your list? Because I know that everyone has a different list. We all have different tastes and what we find enjoyable over others. But for me, I like to see the positive things in life, and ending this top 10 with just a bunch of space people dancing to Florence and the Machines was pretty awesome. So I definitely want to hear down below what some of your favorite moments from the MCU in Phase 4 and Phase 5 are. As I said before, I know that things have been a little rocky since Avengers Endgame, but it hasn't been all bad, and I'm sure we can all find the joy out of what we have been getting. Fair warning, I have not seen the Marvels yet. I just haven't gotten a chance to go to the theaters and see it. I know that it's getting mixed reviews, but so did the first Captain Marvel movie, which I actually thought was pretty good. Our colleague Dom Fisher actually got to see the Marvels and he reviewed it. So you can see his review at geekvibesnation.com. Please make sure you go check that out and I will link it down below. But yeah, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. I am back doing the top 10 after probably a year of not doing it. And I'm going to try and keep a pretty regular schedule. I'm thinking Wednesdays. So please stay tuned every Wednesday for a new top 10. If you have ideas of what you would like to see in an opinionated top 10 list, please let me know. And please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you would like to see moving forward and how I can improve, because I always strive to do better. In the meantime, I'm Tia, your content manager for Geeks Vibes Nation, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!